The ruthless world of corporate America is being traced back to one businessman.
As perhaps the most influential and imitated, not to mention controversial corporate CEO of the last half-century.
Imagine a leader so influential that his strategies not only transformed the company where he worked, but it also reshaped the very fabric of corporate America. A man who was seen as a visionary to some, but a ruthless and controversial CEO to others. His name, Jack Welch. A man who worked for General Electric from 1981 to 2001, propelling the company to unprecedented heights, but being involved in one of the largest layoffs during the 90s.
He is General Electric. He is GE. It is his, it is built in his image.
Beneath his prestige lies a narrative of relentless ambition,
pleasing your boss by over-delivering on results, performance, within the values criteria that he set.
Controversial decisions, and a legacy that still continues to spark debate up to this day.
Jack Welch.
Jack Welch.
Do you know why Jack Welch is the greatest leader since the pharaohs?
This is the story of the man who some call Neutron Jack, the man with the merciless approach to business. Born in 1935 in Peabody, Massachusetts, Jack was the only son of an Irish Catholic family. His mother was a housewife while his father worked as a conductor for the Boston and Maine Railroad. While much is not known about how Jack grew up, it is known that once he started working for General Electric, Jack's ascent was nothing short of meteoric. He joined General Electric in 1960 as a chemical engineer, and 8 years later, 1968, he became GE's youngest general manager at age 32. Perhaps the name General Electric doesn't mean much to you now, but once upon a time, General Electric was so big that it had the same prestige now held by big tech giants like Amazon and Facebook.
Future Americans will have all the electricity they need. This means a better, more satisfying life for us all.
GE, we bring good things to life.
It was on the cutting edge of technology, spearheading the electrical revolution like the creation of radio CAT scans, submarine detections, and many more innovations. While working for General Electric, Jack's aggressive management style and relentless drive for efficiency quickly set him apart, and he gained a reputation for being competitive.
You always want to over-deliver. Never do what the assignment is. Do more than that. Wider, new insights, new horizons.
As the head of GE's plastics business, he was able to increase sales by developing improved technologies for CT scanners, and a couple years later, at age 45, he became GE's youngest CEO.
Finding a better way every day. Sounds like a slogan, but it's the way we work.
At the time, GE was renowned for its innovation and commitment to their employees, but Welch had a different vision than the previous CEOs. One that prioritized efficiency and profitability above everything else. The vision that earned him the nickname Neutron Jack. In the 1970s, before Welch even took over as CEO, the Nobel Prize economist Milton Friedman became pretty popular for his theories. One of his theories about the social responsibility of business mentioned that the primary responsibility of a corporation was to maximize profits for its shareholders. Becoming very influential, this theory began to rewrite the social contract for major companies such as GE. And in 1973, the company established a business roundtable, which was a lobbying group that would codify the Friedman Doctrine as the law for big companies. But this ideology was yet to reach its full potential in the business world, since no one had the ambition, influence, and personality necessary to fully prioritize shareholders over people in the workplace and the environment. No one until Welch. When he became CEO, Welch wasted no time in implementing radical changes when he took office. His aim was to transform General Electric into a leaner and more competitive entity.
Over a span of a decade, we downsized our operations that we do. Now, we kept the high value-added manufacturing, the sophisticated tooling, the sophisticated machining, etc. But we got rid of some of the more mundane work that was taking place in the corporation.
He believed that a smaller workforce would lead to greater efficiency and profitability. One of his strategies, known as the vitality curve, mandated managers rank their employees annually, with the bottom 10% facing termination every year.
We grade people on the bottom 10, middle 70, and top 20. And we do it every single year. We do it rigorously. Now people can move from the middle 70 to the top 20, and from the top 20 down to the middle 70.
This survival of the fitness tactic earned him the name Neutron Jack, reflecting a style that eliminated employees while leaving structures intact, similar to how a neutron bomb eliminates people but leaves buildings standing. To Welch, putting people out of work was an easy way to save money and boost profits. His approach resulted in the elimination of over 100,000 jobs during his first few years as CEO, dismantling entire departments and factories that had been operational for decades.
Dozens of GE appliance workers in Bloomington are protesting the company's decision to cut 160 jobs here, 3 years after announcing a multi-million-dollar investment in the company.
But while these measures had devastating financial effects on countless families and communities, it boosted General Electric's profitability and sent shockwaves through corporate America. Shockwaves that not only reshaped GE's identity, but left Jack hungry for more profits. Welch's next strategy to make the company even bigger was known as the Pac-Man model, a model which involved buying other companies and acquiring their growth. General Electric at the time had a financial services division called GE Capital, which essentially provided financing services for GE products. So Welch began aggressively expanding GE Capital by buying insurance businesses. And in 1986, he bought the investment bank Kidder Peabody for $600 million. By the late 90s, a significant portion of GE's profits stemmed from financial services, overshadowing its industrial roots.
It's very hard to tinker with success, but Jack didn't just tinker with it. I mean, he went in there and broke the place.
The shift mirrored a broader trend in American capitalism, where tangible production were being replaced with complex financial instruments.
Something changed right around 1981, and this change was embodied by men like Jack Welch. So I identify Welch as the man who helped transform this arrangement and gave us the world we have today.
Welch, being the competitive CEO he was, would go on to acquire over 600 companies such as the RCA Corporation, which owns NBC, the national broadcasting company, further diversifying GE's portfolio.
High cash flow, growth, great people, pizzazz for GE. Why would you not be in it?
Well, we would have liked to have bought NBC in that period, but we didn't want to buy the whole. The whole was RCA, but he was bigger and he was able to absorb the whole thing and had a better vision than I did.
Therefore, this made Welch one of the best performing CEOs of his time, increasing GE's value from $14 billion in 1981 to $600 billion, outpacing the S&P 500 within 2 decades. And these moves not only reshaped GE, but also set a precedent for other corporations, encouraging a focus on short-term profits over long-term stability. But while this strategy yielded short-term gains and impressed Wall Street, it tied up GE's fortunes to volatile financial markets. And in 2008, long after this strategy was celebrated under Welch's leadership, the financial crisis would expose how fragile this model actually was. For more than a century, General Electric was the most influential business in the nation when it came to CEO development and organizational design. From the 1950s, it had its own leadership training ground called Crotonville, where promising future executives could develop their leadership skills. Welch wanted to make sure that his influence extended far beyond General Electric's balance sheet. So he attempted to add his own touch to Crotonville. He wanted to make Crotonville more like a private club. So he refurbished the campus and ran a management program that was designed to make graduates a missionary for his worldviews. He instilled his philosophies into the students, emphasizing relentless performance and his unique, unyielding drive for results. That drive for making the most money possible.
Jack has really developed 400 hitters, and that's a talent I don't have.
Many of his protégés would then go to lead major corporations like Boeing and Home Depot, propagating Welch's doctrines across various industries today. However, this cult of leadership had its pitfalls. Because the emphasis on short-term gains often overshadowed sustainable growth and innovation, companies who adopted similar rank and terminate systems fostered environments of fear rather than collaboration among employees, something that would be detrimental to General Electric in the years to come. Welch retired in 2001, leaving behind a company that was, on the surface, a perfect example of corporate success.
Look at the success of this company. The company is getting better. It's getting faster. Inventories are turning faster. New products are coming out faster. Productivity is growing.
He had successfully cemented his legacy before retiring with a farewell severance gift of $417 million, one of the largest severance payouts in history. But the upcoming years after Welch retired revealed the underlying vulnerabilities of the company. The 2008 financial crisis hit General Electric in a way that they never expected. Their over-reliance on financial services led to significant losses, and subsequent CEOs grappled with restructuring and refocusing the company.
GE confirming just now it is cutting 12,000 jobs as it shrinks its power business.
This ultimately resulted in General Electric's removal from the Dow Jones in 2018, marking a symbolic end to an era. Critics today now argue that Welch's strategies of cost-cutting, outsourcing, and financialization, while innovative, left General Electric ill-prepared for future challenges. Additionally, the widespread adoption of his management practices across corporate America is being linked to increased income inequality and a decline in employee loyalty.
Amazon has laid off members of its corporate staff. Spokesperson told King 5 it was part of an effort to move faster and strengthen culture.
So while Jack Welch's tenure at General Electric propelled the company to unprecedented heights, it is definitely obvious that it destroyed the livelihood of several workers in the process. Therefore, as we reflect on his legacy, it can easily be seen that his story serves as a cautionary tale for future business leaders about the potential consequences of a singular focus on profit over employee satisfaction.